What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. Today we're going to be taking a look at Monday Night Football, Week 12, 2021, and a lot of fans of the Seahawks were just trying to figure out, does he need LASIK surgery, this guy Russell Wilson? Now, we know he's been injured. We know a lot of things have been going on where he just has not been in the flow of the game the way he usually is. He missed a couple weeks. Geno Smith came in and was horrific. There's a lot of stuff going on, so people are trying to figure out because if you look at the fact that they have DK Metcalf, and DK Metcalf is a fine-oiled machine, bro, ready to explode, but if you can't get him the football, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to sit there and watch it happen. So a lot of people were very upset about the way the game transpired. I'm going to go ahead and break it down to you guys the best that I can. Watching the game, I know some of you guys are going to say, oh yeah, it was questionable calls towards the end. The referees made bad decisions on catches versus drops, all that good stuff. I'm not even going to go into that. I'm going to talk about the beef and the meat and potatoes of the game, right? Let's take a look at Russell Wilson's numbers. 20 of 31, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. His rushing, 2 carries, 16 yards, right? Now, we're going to go down to the receiving, and there's a receiver missing. And I just brought his name up earlier. If you guys are listening to me on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all that good stuff, you can't really see it right now. You're just listening probably while you're at the gym working it out, getting your gains in. But Tyler Lockett is there, Gerald Everett, Freddie Swain, DJ Dallas, Will Dissly, Alex Collins. I didn't say one name, and that name is DK Metcalf, because he had 4 targets and had 1 reception. If you look at the game and see how many times this man was open, you probably would think that his father will be doing an OBJ dad thing and making a video showing how Russell Wilson can't see him, similar to what they did over there with who was he with at the time? Ob Jizzle, was that Baker Mayfield? Because now they're gonna be making a new one with Matthew Stafford, but that's neither here nor there. Watching this game though, I keep telling everybody, and it's the same thing that always comes back around, and it shows its ugly head. Where's your run game? Seattle Seahawks, where your run game at, bro? Alex Collins, 7 carries. Bro, 7 carries for 14 yards. 2-yard average. DJ Dallas, 3 carries, 4 yards. Where are you going with that? What are you trying to do? This is what we can understand, right? No matter how football has changed, if you play good defense and you can run the football, you're going to win a lot of games. It's just the way that it works, because running the football, you're pushing a man against his will, you're wearing down the other team, and then you're opening it up for play action. So your quarterback doesn't have to be as good as we've seen what Ryan Tannehill, what he actually is without Derrick Henry. Not to say that Russell Wilson is a bad quarterback. Obviously, we know he's not, but you can see the difference. There's no run game. So what are you doing now? You're trying to put everything on the quarterback. Russell Wilson is getting a lot older. He can't do all the stuff he used to do, run for 95,000 yards and pass for 300. He can't do it anymore. You're going to have to create a system. So with that being said, the Washington football team was getting pressure on him, and he couldn't really see what was going on the field, which is why a lot of you guys say, yo, look, he got to get that LASIK. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's going to be going on eventually as we continue to go on with the podcast. DK Metcalf, right? 1 reception on 4 targets. Okay? That's pretty much what it is. It's something else that we have to take a look at, and we have to figure out, why is this going on? Because he's one of the star receivers. Listen, Lockett is good, whatever, but he's an undersized guy. If he can't beat you over the top, he's pretty much useless, right? He's pretty much a guy where you got to look at it and you got to figure it out. All right, is he going to be able to get past someone? Because you can't give, Lockett is not getting no jump ball like DK Metcalf, and even with some of the ridiculous passes that he threw, there were people wide open underneath. Russell Wilson made a lot of bad decisions in this game, and I don't know why. And that's the difference between a lot of these quarterbacks and Tom Brady. Tom Brady will take the underneath. Tom Brady will take whatever you're giving him. If you go back and look at that game, there were a lot of other wide open receivers, but he wanted to force it to DK Metcalf. Bro, you can take underneath routes and open up the over the top. We don't need to talk about this, bro. I don't know why he was playing the way he was playing, but Russell Wilson was really horrific. I know his numbers don't really show it, but, he was very, very pedestrian if you watch the actual game. On the other side of the football, though, the Washington football team, they understand what they have in Taylor Heineke. You see what I'm saying? Even during the actual game, the broadcasters were saying, they tell him to not go too crazy and to manage the game, but he said, look, I gotta be me. So they allow him to be, who he is. And I have to let me just say this real quick. I got to give Riverboat Ron, a.k.a. Ron Rivera, a lot of credit for not taking Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? You saw he's on the open market, And, you know, he has the best relationship with him. He had him in Carolina all those years. He knew he's not the same guy. And we're seeing that now. So he put all of his chips in Taylor for this year. And I like that he did that because I told you guys this a while ago. Cam Newton is never going to be that Cam Newton that we know from before. He's broken down. He's not the same guy. And, you know, pretty much the Panthers are pretty much doomed. When you bench him in the fourth, that's not a good sign. But that's besides the point. Taylor Heinicke did enough to win the game, and he made plays when he needed to make them. Although, you can look at the rushing and see the difference. Antonio Gibson lessened the load. They ran the ball 29 times with him by himself. McKissick had 7 carries. You're looking at 36 carries, okay? 111 yards for Antonio, 30 yards for McKissick. But what does it do? Running the ball, it wears down the defense. So now you look at it, although we think of the Seahawks as a pretty good defensive team, you're getting run on all this, you know, all game. Terry McLaurin, he only had 7 targets, 4 receptions, 51 yards, no touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Gibson was in the receiving corps. You know, 7 receptions, 35 yards. He caught all 7 passes that he was targeted. This is what I'm saying. It's kind of weird to look at it the way that it's happening because Taylor actually played the way that Russell Wilson should have played. He took everything he could have gotten, but the only difference is they ran the ball better. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were able to run the ball, and that was something that was different about the entire situation because, you know, as long as you're able to get some yards on the ground, you got to pay attention to it. You got to start stacking the box. You got to start, you know, taking the fakes because you don't know if that's what they're going to do. Plus, Taylor is not really respected around the league, so they probably thought it'll be like a run game, like a Tennessee Titan type thing, and he dotted them when anything was open. So those are the key plays that really changed the game. And again, the Seahawks could have easily won this game. This is like the first time in his career, in Russell Wilson's career, where it's like a 4-game losing streak in the starts. Like, it's wild, but it's happening. And we're witnessing it go on, and I don't really know who to blame and what to, you know, Pete Carroll. Yeah, I've been saying to fire him for a while, but it was really, I put this, a lot of the lion's share of blame on Russell Wilson. But Washington's defense played well. So then you have to look at it, you know, according to that as well. They have a lot of injuries, but they had a good game plan, and it worked out. And Taylor did just enough to keep them in the game. So with that kind of scenario, it is actually something that's very important to look at and just see. We know that the Seahawks, they usually play very well, but things change. And the way that they went on yesterday, I don't even know. I'm not going to say Russell Wilson is garbage because we all know he's not, but that was not one of his better games. But congratulations to the Washington football team in pulling out the win. That's all we can do. That's why we watch, right, guys? So I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. Hopefully you enjoy your day. Until next time, you guys be safe. Enjoy your holiday. Stay warm. One love, y'all.